Hello, everyone. Corrie here, coming in to do what should have been earlier in the week, coming in to do the energy report for June. So this is actually, no, this is actually the first. So I'm on the right day. So this is the monthly energy report. I was going to say weekly, and I was just confused for a moment. There's a lot of confusing energy some days here. And so coming into June, we are about to hit a new full moon, and the new full moon, a full moon that's coming in. So we have a full moon that's happening this coming weekend. This full moon feels like it hits this like go time. There is some like, it's like the sweet spot kind of full moon is what it feels like. It's like it just shines a light up on that final little hook and just says, no more. No more is this going to be the thing that's going to define me, control me, hold me back. I'm going to choose to shift. I'm going to choose to travel in a direction. I'm going to choose to do something differently. So this moon has a lot of powerful potential for movement, wherever there's been stagnant energy, wherever there has been, but it also has the power to be able to get us not stuck, but take us to a place of being content. It's like we just found our favorite chair. We just found our comfortable spot, and we want to stay there, and we don't want to leave there, and we just want to stay and just embrace. It is just like it's like reaping the reward sometimes is not to jump up and down, but is to sit in a place of peace and a place of contentment. So the energy feels like it's like a peaceful energy in so many ways. But today we still have some of this messy Chiron energy, and it is always that sense of what is unhealed. There's always something that will not be resolved, something you can't resolve, something you can't heal. There's always going to be the person from the past or the people from the past who are going to be so trapped and stuck in their stories that they just can't leave those stories. They're going to be there. Some of those are not going to change. They're not going to change their minds. Not everybody's here to awaken. Not everybody's here to evolve. Some people need you to be the character and the why to why they refuse to do what they need to do. Remember that. And so you may be that person for them. And so don't feel like you need to go back, because you're in this place. It's just like, know what you have done well, see what you have done well, and hold on to that, what you have done well, what you have done for yourself. And you can say, I am sorry to somebody without having to say, I'm sorry. You can speak to their soul. You can release the energy. Soul revival work is a beautiful way to do this. Anything that is helpful in a guided meditation that can take you to a place of seeing yourself, seeing somebody else in a third person view, and being able to look back and just say, I see my shortcomings. I acknowledge my wrongdoings. I set you free of me holding on to this story. I send you love. I take back my energy. I give you back the light that I took from you. Anything that I may have taken, from you unintentionally in your own energy, in your own light. You may have been 5 years old. You may have been 2 years old. It may be arguments with your parents. It may be any of those things that happened 20 years ago. Whatever it may be that you were still like, oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I would have done things differently, but you didn't. And you weren't the person you once were, that you are today. You're not the person you are today. You were not back then. So it is a sense of being able to free ourselves and to set ourselves free, open the cage door, let yourself out, make peace with it, let yourself fly, let your wings come out, see yourself as rising back up and rising and stepping back into your own personal groove, your own personal journey. You don't deserve to be constantly punishing yourself, being that hard on yourself at all times. And all of that energy is literally in the very beginning of the month. So I'm like, oh, wow. Like if that's where we are in the beginning of the month, what more does this month have? And so this month also has, it has those veils of illusions that's been falling down, and that sinister energy. And And we, in this, especially in this last week of May, like I can say the dark energy, that the sinister, the narcissistic, the constant manipulation abilities of some people have hit its all-time high and all-time max, because the light is coming in and the light is shining. And I just feel like there's an exposure that's being done. So they're either exposing themselves to their behavior through their old patterns and repeat habits. And even if that's yourself, it's not saying you're a bad person. It's just saying, why am I doing this again? And so there is old energy. And I feel as if there is a lot of that old, like the veils of illusions, those masks, right? It's like, not that anyone's ripping the mask off, but the masks are falling off. So there's a falling, like a dripping. It's like the heat, the water just is washing away. So the divine flames, the divine water, like the elemental energy is just clearing this energy from away from you or from somebody else. Like it's just and it's also holding a lot of people safe and saying, stop trying to be this person. Stop trying to think that you can change people. Stop thinking that you can fix people. You can't fix, no matter how many messages I put out, or no matter how much I do. I always say, I'm not here to be that guru. I share my stories, I share my experiences, and we're just being told that you can't, this is too big for us, and we have to give it to the divine. We have to give it over. And so we can share those experiences, but you can't fix those people. And so it's a realization in a lot of relationship energy of where you're really seeing the reflection is our own sinister, is that we all wanted something from this. What were you hoping to gain from this? What were you hoping to get from this experience? What were you trying to prove to yourself? What were you trying to prove to others? And then in the meantime, what has it cost you? What does it cost you to keep trying to fix, to always be in that fixer, to always be in that one that says, I can battle this. I can beat this. I can, it's like you're standing in the rain, pulling on ropes and strings, and all you're doing is exhausting yourself and nothing is moving. It's like trying to do a project that you have no skills in. You may get it done, but it may fall apart. It's like renovating a house and you have no idea how to renovate a house, none. And so it's not saying you can't do it, but the quality of the work, the sustainability of the home, how long it will last, if it will pass inspections, if it is up to standards and to the quality of where it should be for the value of the home. Well, it's the same type of thing within ourselves. Just because you watched a video doesn't mean that you should. So just because I can, it doesn't mean I need to, and it doesn't mean I should be there. And so just because I have the gifts, or just because I have the ability, doesn't mean I have to. Doesn't mean I have to share. It doesn't mean I have to give everything out. It doesn't mean I have to be here. And so there is a empowerment energy that is coming on the flip side of all of this kind of sinister energy that is just like, that is also revealing itself. And so we're seeing big men fall. We're seeing the big men fall. We're seeing big establishments fall. We're seeing big things fall. And it goes right back to the most powerful thing that we need within ourselves and within anything that we build is a strong foundation, and a strong foundation is a must. And the problem is, right even back to our childhood, is that when they thought they were building us a strong foundation, it was actually a weak foundation, because it was on the heels of the unhealed stories and the past traumas and the past experiences that really didn't have the sustainability to do the things that we needed, but it gave us something that we could build upon and to be able to build stronger foundations now. And some of that is love, some of that was care, some of that was compassion, some of that was wisdom, some of that was lessons and blessings, and some of it was hard knocks, which we don't want to have to experience again. And that's why we need to do this work now. And so there is big healing energy that is coming through in this month of June that just says we are seeing, and when we see, we can't unsee. And when somebody shows their whole self to you, you have to accept that whole self. When you see something of somebody and you see the monster, the ugly, the darkness, that darkness still does exist. And your light will never turn that. The only thing that turns the tides is the choice that somebody says when they meet their own light, when they meet that own divine, when they meet something greater than them that just says, I have to do this. And you don't ask someone to hold on. And you just say, if you are still here, if this is meant to be, when I can step into my light, when I am my light and if our lights match and if it aligns, then so be it. And that's not always a romantic relationship. That could be business, that could be anywhere. One of the most powerful things that I have learned, the most powerful soulmates that I have in my life is through actually female friends. And it's the one thing that we don't talk about. We don't really associate so much is that your friends and the people in your, your soul sisters, brothers, whatever they may actually be soulmates in your life. And some are soulmates, and that you can actually meet your nemesis in that as well. But those people that just come into your life and you learn how to be in relationship with, you learn how to be in any relationship, you learn how you should treat each other, you learn how you should show up, you learn how, you don't have to be there all the time, that you can have healthy boundaries, that you don't have to overgive of yourself, there's not high expectations. And so recognizing that this is a powerful month to be able to recognize what soulmate energy really truly is, and the truth of working with twin flame energy. We have a lot of love here. We have a lot of Venus that's been around. We have a lot of that energy. We also have, as we're moving into June, we will be moving we're in Gemini energy right now. Sorry, we're not in Gemini yet. Are we in Gemini? Yes, we're in, sorry. Holy, where did I just skip out? We're in Gemini right now. And from Gemini, we move into a water sign again, and we go back into some Cancer energy. And it's that you're not here to be the mother to everyone, but you're here to do that divine, do that divine nurturing. The reflection, the view we have of ourselves matters now more than ever. And the view we have of others, and sometimes the skewed views, that the divide and the division and the stories and the manipulation that has done to us, is here to now be eradicated and ended, so that we don't keep dividing. There is a sense of being able to come together. And so there's actually like green jelly. There's like this green jelly kind of energy that is floating around. And as I'm seeing this kind of jelly kind of energy, I just feel like it's like glue. It's like a magnetic kind of gluey energy. It's just bringing us into alignment with the right energy, the right opportunities, the right kind of people. And sometimes that can feel very foreign. You may feel very intimidated by it. You may feel like your insecurities coming. And that's because the ego always tries to get you back to safety. It tries to get you back to, and as hard as that may be to be able to face, it's trying to take you back to what you know. And what you know sometimes may have been your most unhealthiest place to be. And so the unfamiliar, that feeling you have, is most likely the place where you need to be. In June, I'm teaching a workshop that is in 2 evenings. I think it's like the 14th, 15th, somewhere around there. It's on my website. Go to CorrieThorne.com, and it is about the angel mediumship and about advancing your psychic awareness, and that works with your intuition. And what people often don't realize, and the big part of why I teach and why I've created More Than Existing, was to heal the instinctual self, so that we don't have to live a life in fight or flight, in survival mode, that we can learn the power of thriving and be able to trust ourselves. Nobody ever gets to make your choices and decisions. Nobody makes you feel a certain way. Nobody that's always you. And so it's the essence of being able to coexist and not always have to agree, but to let somebody else have their view, have their whatever, and how you respond to it, all of those things. But it's also in this power of understanding that when you heal the instinctual self, you understand intuition. Intuition often feels a very uncomfortable feeling. It is not cozy. It is not warm all the time. It's not that it feels warm sometimes, but it's like there's a uncomfortableness. It can sometimes feel as if it feels similar to your anxiety. The nervous system only has so many ways that it can communicate back to you. And so based on memories and emotions and connecting to previous experiences, You may see something as something that, oh, I have to back away from this, or I can't say anything, or I don't feel safe here, but yet it may be the place that you need to go, and it may be an actual safe place while you're trying to seek the comforts. And so this journey is truly about, sometimes we, stepping into our brave and our courageous heart, to step into unknown ground, to step into unknown territory, to trust the journey, to be able to move forward, be able to make the changes we need to be able to make, and to be able to know that we're just going, not, we're not here to keep repeating the same, but to rise it up like a coil, right? To connect into a new truth within ourselves. And so this is a prime time to start new projects. It's a good time to, if you've been thinking about seeking and searching, new love, new relationships in your life, it's a good time for that as well. Love is definitely in the air. There is definitely love there. It's a good time to really truly, do the healing work and the self-love upon self, with self and with others. It's also time to, to sometimes face our opposition within ourselves, our own opposite energy, and to be able to come to common ground, to be able to make peace with the oppositions within ourselves. And I do feel like there is some, we're not going to win every war. We're not going to win every battle. And I don't feel like these wars and battles in this world are over yet. We're definitely heading into between 2024 to 2026 before we start to see, but we're going to have to pick our battles wisely, because the things that are going to be worth fighting for, we are going to have to fight for, right? We're really going to have to stand up for. We're going to have to really stand in that truth, to be there, to have the courage to fight. And so we do have the Queen of Cups, and she is in reverse. So getting those emotions in check, and really truly having that sense of clarity when we know ourselves, we know what we stand for, we know what we believe in, our body speaks the truth to us. And we have the Five of Swords, which is in reverse. So I'm like, it's like, there's like, I don't feel like everything is going to be all celebration and sunshine and rainbows yet, but there's beautiful opportunities here. But then we have the Page of Swords. And with this Page of Swords, what I just instantly heard was a sense of youthfulness, but his sword is hitting the ground. And so if you ever work with the energy of a sword, of a conduit, and like the wand, I keep seeing a wand here, so I'm going to go with what I'm getting. So I keep seeing a wand, and how fire, like the rings of fire. So it's like when a wand hits the ground, and the energy that just like the circles. So I just see circles coming out like this. And I just feel like it's like when we hit the mark. So when we hit the mark, and we hit the mark in our healing, when we do the wounded child healing, and when we hit the mark, and we allow ourselves to then work from a more mature state of being an intellectual, and like a healed, so a spiritual, emotional, evolved self, really truly allows us to step into the intellectual, like the maturity within ourselves. I'm trying to find language. And so it's so that we can find our voice and communicate, and to be able to see things with to see all sides of things, and then be able to stand in a truth without having, brave sometimes means in a crowd. I can be loud, and I can be big, and I can be bold, and I can get involved in all the keyboard warrior stuff, but try standing alone. Try standing alone when everyone else walks away. When everyone else goes and hides behind the door, when everyone else backs away, when everyone else tells you you're crazy, when everyone else tells you there's something wrong with you, when everyone else tells you you just give up, just give up, just give up, you need to go do this, you need to go do that, and you're left standing, and there's such power in having the courage to stand there. And the longer you stand, and the more that you speak from the heart of a truth, when you awaken your true voice, and you stand with that kind of courage and that kind of knowing that this is not working. This is not the way we need to do things. And when we have that courage, and we're just going to see more and more people coming from the crowds, and having that sense of being okay to stand alone, being okay with sometimes silence, saying, I'm not even going to engage in that. I'm not even going to respond to that. And I found myself this week defending who and what I am in my relationship with God and with the word and I've worked with the word alchemist to take any energetic charge from the words, and so that you don't so you're not responding to it, you're not creating a story from it, is however people choose to communicate, and we only have a select number of words to use, that you don't build a story. And I found myself defending myself again, and almost like being a little bit apologetic. And afterwards I walked around my yard and I'm like, why would I do that? Why did I lose myself again? Why did I engage in that? Just let them, just right. And I'm like, Mel Robinson just posted a video that says, just let them think, let them be, let them have their story. Right. And it's just like, and it was like that double-edged sword, and it leaves. And so that ripple effect of that was this vibrational energy that I was letting it expand out until I brought myself back and just said, no, I'm very proud of the work that I did. I'm very proud of the story I shared. I'm very proud of this. And I know what it means to me. And I know what it meant when I wrote it, how somebody else responds to it. I don't write to make somebody else comfortable. I'm a channel. I don't speak to make somebody else comfortable. I trust what is to be. I trust what's meant to be. And I trust the journey of where my destiny is supposed to be going. And it's not in trying to make other people comfortable with what they're unwilling to heal within themselves, so that they don't have such a charge from everything in this world. And that's a huge thing. And I think that's a place that we really have to really start acknowledging as we're moving forward. And so getting in check with those emotions. Never be golden. Keep doing that. So what's keeping us up at night? So what are the things that have been keeping you up at night? What are the things that you keep allowing to creep in? Like, you can put up all the shields, you can tell yourself all the stories, but whenever you leave the gap in the space, whenever that place, that weak foundation, that where we kind of slacked off, or where we didn't do it, that needs to be done now. You have the Page of Wands. See, I knew there was a fire here somewhere. I could feel this ring of fire. I could feel this light. And so I always say this card, and I always chuckle at myself, but I would say when I pulled the Page of Wands, I always say it's just like, because there's like, I would say it's like oranges in a tree. And I'm like, everyone talks about, the apple and the apple seeds and the apple trees. I'm like, and everyone's like, well, if you got that bite into the apple, that whole apple story. So what if you don't get apples and you get oranges? Like, if everyone else is getting apples and you get oranges, would you, instead of sitting there pouting that you got oranges and everyone else got apples, would you think that I have something so rich and so powerful that can be used for so many things? And why not orange juice, right? Why did it need to be apple juice, right? So what if there's so much more that can be done with the orange than there could be done with the apple, right? It's not, one is not greater than the other one. One is not less than the other one. It's just that often in life, when we see we see so many people having this and having this life and having that life, and then we're angry because we don't have this life, and we're envious and we want this over here because everyone else is doing this, or more people have that, and you're just looking into what they have. But over here, you've been gifted so many beautiful things and maybe such a beautiful life, and you have many things, but you're still looking over here and you can't see that there's no difference. It's like, what's wrong with this? The only thing making what you have less is that you're in comparison. And when we live in comparison and we're comparing this and that, is that we see it as a less than, instead of that it is just a difference. There's just differences, and we can have differences, and there can be differences, and that we don't have to compare the differences. We can just accept, and we can make the best, and we can do beautiful things with what we have. And then when we create beautiful things with what we have, maybe we can share them with each other. Maybe we can pass them through. Maybe we can do this. And so when we get passionate about what we have within ourselves, when we get truly into that grind and being in that desire to use what we have, to take advantage of the things we've learned from our experiences, then we can advance that, we can grow that, we can bring that together. Well, that is a part of our journey. And I just feel like it's little feet are wearing his little green little shoes. And so he's walking the healer's journey. He's walking the healed healer's journey. He's dripping in gold. He's got the orange. He's holding his staff up high. He knows where. He's holding his wand up high. He knows exactly where he's going. He's being guided. He's got a destiny. He doesn't have to look around. He just knows where he's going. He's taken his oranges, and he just knows that his oranges will be equally as great as the apples. And why would he need an apple if he got an orange? Right? Maybe somebody else will give you an apple. Maybe somebody will share with you, but you don't have to look at what you don't have. If you keep looking into what you do have and stop looking into comparison, you will not be trapped in the story of what you don't have, but you'll see what you do have. We cause ourselves so much chaos, and all that we believe to be obstacles within our lives, all the things of, that we believe to be still there, is a non-existent. It's not a mountain inside of you. It's a story in your head. It's a previous experience. It's a previous hurt. And the only thing that keeps that experience, that person hurting you, is the fact that you keep hurting you by staying in that story. And there is now an energy and a time for us to truly start to see that there is nothing standing in our way. And it's time for us to get out of our own way. And it's in every one of my books and every one of my teachings. Get out of your own way, break up with you, because most of the times what you don't realize is that you don't even know that you are not you until you recognize how far away from home you are, from yourself that you are. And that's when there's a desire to start to find your way back. And I couldn't have wrote my books at a better time, because this is the energy, this is the time. It's just like there's a time now to start to stop living separated from self, stop looking into another, and start really, truly becoming truly honest and authentic and true to ourselves. And it means sometimes we gotta face the not so pretty within us. Much love. Have a beautiful month. And I hope this helps you. Hope this resonates with you. And that's some sloppy cards, but oh well, that's the way they're meant to be this month. They weren't meant to be a big focus point of it. They were just a validation. Check out the rest of my work. And I do have a Sunday morning for the full moon on the 4th, June the 4th. I do have what do I have happening? I have a full moon meditation and vision quest that I am doing. It is online. You can sign up on my website, gocorriethorne.com. All the information is in the comment section, in the description below. And then on June the 14th, 15th, there is an online 2-day workshop, 2-evening workshop. You can also check that out. Everything is directly on that website. Please, if you like these videos, please subscribe and hit the notification button, and you'll always be notified of when there is a new video coming out. If you love my work and you want to see more of it, all of this is done free. And so there is a spot in the description below where you can leave a donation, where you can make a donation, donate a coffee, to be able to help me to be able to continue to do this work. And I have some exciting news coming up in June, which I'll announce later, as soon as we got everything in place. But these are the things we have happening. So go check it out. Much love. Thank you. Bye-bye.